Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? This is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what it is that I do here. I am a love coach specifically for women who want to heal and reconcile after infidelity. I know it's horrible. You've been cheated on. It is supposed to be the end of the relationship, but for you, it's just not. There is something about him, there's something about the relationship that you have together, there's something about your family, there's something about the love that you feel that makes you believe that you could maybe forgive him and move past this and get to a better part of your life together, one where this is not the thing all the time. It's not the thing that's constantly on your mind. It's not the thing that is causing you fear and anxiety all the time. I am here to tell you that that is absolutely possible. I know so many people will tell you that that's not a possible thing, but I've been through it. I am 18 years past the last of the infidelity, not the first of it, but the last of it. And I am here to tell you about a new day. I am here to tell you about a day where you are not concerned about the alarms going off on his phone. You are not concerned about him texting. You are not concerned about where his location says he is. There is an after. There is an after infidelity. This is a huge betrayal, but that does not mean it's the end of your life. You can get through it. All right. And that's what I'm here to do. I am here to help you with all the things that I did to get through it. I want to tell them, I want to share them with you so you know how to get through it. And then you can tell the next woman, okay? I want that to be your assignment. That is the final phase of healing, is the inspiration phase where you can be an inspiration to another woman who thought, I don't know if I can do this. And you can say, girl, hey, yeah, you can. I did it. Let me show you. All right. I want you to be able to do that. That's when you can tell this story and it doesn't make you cry anymore. You have gotten beyond that chapter and you have gotten to a place of wisdom where you can actually tell somebody else how to handle this, how to get past all the roller coaster of emotions, how to reconnect, how to feel closer again. You can be the one to do that. Just come along for a ride, all right? I'm going to tell you everything I know. If you've got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, I want you to put them in the comments. I will answer every question that comes, okay? All right, y'all. So I'm live on my Facebook group, Love After Cheating. If you have not joined Love After Cheating, I want you to go right now. And if you're watching this on replay, pause, go join the group, and then come back and watch the rest of the video, okay? But I need you to come join my Love After Cheating group. My Love After Cheating group is where I am. All right. It's over 6,000 women strong who are all staying and reconciling. You're not by yourself. Okay. This is not some super extraordinary thing that you're doing. Me without doing like any advertising whatsoever. The group is like 6,000 people strong just off me answering some questions in groups, doing these lives. Okay, so you're not by yourself. Don't sit in the loneliness after betrayal and feel like, oh, there's nobody else who understands what's going on with me. There are plenty of people who have worked with me in the group who will give you advice too. So come on in. Make yourself at home in my Love After Cheating group on Facebook, okay? All right. I am on YouTube, Love Coach Dasha, and I am on Facebook, Love Coach Dasha too. So if you want to catch me live, you can catch me live all sorts of places, okay? All right. Good to go. Got everything? All right. I can see everything. Lovely. Okay. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and start with the basics. Okay. This is the stuff that you need to know. I understand that these things seem simple. I understand that these things don't necessarily feel like they are going to be attached to healing after infidelity, but these are things that will help you with trauma, and that's what has happened to you. You have been traumatized. You've been cheated on. If you've been betrayed by somebody that you love, that you had your heart wide open for, that is a trauma. All right. Your body is going to react to it like it is a trauma every day, all day, and twice on Sundays. Okay. You don't have to worry about trying to make it fit for infidelity. This is just trauma relief, just working on the effects of the trauma on your body. Do these things. I am telling you, if you do these things, you are going to start to feel better, even if you're not even communicating with him about it. Even if we're not getting more apologies and talking more about it, you will start to feel better doing these things. Okay. First thing, now I'm always going to start off with every time we get together because I want you to do it and I want you to remember. I want you to do your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? I need you to jump on that, okay? I need that to be a thing. I need that to be every day. You take a little bit of time, 5 times a day. And I want you to do your deep breathing exercises consistently. Okay. What this does is it reverses the trauma breathing that you're doing when your body has been traumatized, because this is all physical. Okay. When you have been traumatized, your body starts to breathe in a different way. It's more shallow. You are sipping in air. You're not fully blowing out your breath when you exhale. All you need to do to tell your body that you are safe is to change the way you're breathing. Slow it way down, get in control of it. When you can do that, you are sending an immediate signal to your brain that, hey, I have scanned the horizon. There is nothing out here that's going to eat me. I am safe. There is no need for that breathing. Okay. There's no need for the fight or flight response to kick in right this second. I might need it later, but you just go ahead and rest until I do. Okay. So we do 4-7-8 breathing together. Now, you can do whatever breathing technique you want as long as you're doing it. I don't care what it is. There are things that you can do, like alternate nostril breathing. You can plug one side of your nose, inhale and exhale through the other side, then switch. Okay. You can do what's called square breathing, which is counting, in for 6, hold for 6, exhale for 6, wait for 6. Okay, you could do that. Doesn't matter, just as long as you're doing it and you're doing it consistently, because the consistency is what is going to continue to tell your brain that you're safe and you're okay. Okay. So we do 4-7-8 breathing. What we do is blow out, trying to deflate our lungs completely, get as much of that carbon dioxide out of our lungs as we possibly can. Then we're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold that breath for a count of 7, and then we're going to blow out like we're blowing out an entire cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. Now, when you blow out, make the noise of blowing. Make that sound. When you do that, what you are doing each and every time you do that is telling your brain, I am safe. And you are creating a trigger that goes along with it. Triggers are just things that remind us of other things. Okay. If you are sensing it, if you are hearing it, seeing it, touching it, tasting it, smelling it, and it reminds you of a thing, that is a trigger. Okay. So if you hear yourself blowing that breath, that cool stream of air out of your body, you will remind yourself, you will trigger yourself that, oh no, I'm calm, I'm safe, everything is okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to do deep breathing together. Come join me. Do your deep breathing with me. We're going to do it 3 times for the sake of time for the live. All right. So first things first, we're going to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful. How do you feel when you do the deep breathing? Put it in the comments. Let me know what happens inside your body, because trauma is a physical thing. It is things that happen to your body. All right. The reaction to trauma is things that happen to your body. The things that are going to soothe that trauma are going to be things that affect your body too. So your deep breathing should affect your body in some way. Put it in the comments. How does the deep breathing make you feel? Okay. All right. The next thing that I'm always going to tell you every time we get together, a little thing that just works on trauma that you need to be doing to heal after infidelity is doing your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? If you have not, I want you to jump on that. I need you to get to that immediately. All right. Get yourself a journal, something you will write in. Okay. It does not matter. This is my personal one. Okay. I like it because it's lavender and it's got dividers in it. It's got good, strong paper and it's got a spiral. I love a spiral. Excellent. The next thing is to get something you will actually write with. Okay. If you're like me, a pen is important. All right. This is one that my husband gave me. I think he gave it to me for Christmas. Excellent pen. All right. I've been using it ever since, just for my journal. Get yourself a special set. Your journal and your pen need to be personalized to you. You need to want to use them. Okay. You need to be like, oh, that makes me want to write something when you see it. Okay. All right. That's the first thing. Second thing is, when you're doing your journaling, I need you to do your date, your time, and your level of anxiety when you're writing. Now, your date and your time are going to tell you what the patterns are to what you're feeling. You will be able to figure out what you're triggered by, things that stress you out, things that make you feel good. You'll be able to do that because you will be writing in your journal. If you are just doing it consistently, twice a day, about 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes before you go to bed, you are going to have a wealth of information at your fingertips all about the trauma that you're going through. Okay. If you want to write extra, that's fine, but not more than 5 minutes. Okay. I want you to make it a habit that this is the most important stuff in this book, in this special book. This is the most important stuff. This is the stuff that came to mind first, that bubbled up as soon as you woke up this morning, the things that were troubling you before you tried to lay your head down at night. That is what I need you to write that 5 minutes for. If you sit down and start writing and you're in that traumatic state, you're just going to keep on writing. You're going to be like, okay, if I write enough, maybe all the pain will go away and I'll feel better. No. This is not all in one shot. This is going to be a consistent thing that you're doing to regulate yourself, to get yourself back in control of your body and your emotions by writing down the thoughts that are most disturbing to you or loudest. It doesn't even have to be a disturbing thought. It could just be a loud thought. Write them down. Okay. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, and then periodically 5 minutes throughout the day. Do your date, your time, and your level of anxiety each time you write. Now, your date and time is going to help you through all of those entries. It's going to show you when things happen. All right. Pay attention to that. Then your level of anxiety. What we're doing when we're examining our level of anxiety is, number one, putting a face and a name to it. Like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a little anxious. That's what this feeling is. That's why I want to open my journal and write. All right. Then you're putting a fence around those feelings. You're saying, yes, this feeling is bad and it could get big and bad, but it can only get so big. All right. So as big as it can get is a 10. 0 to 10 is the scale. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. You are feeling great. All is right with the world. Write that down. In the midst of this traumatic thing you're going through, make sure you write down when you're okay. If you're not writing that down consistently and reminding yourself as you go back and look in your journal, you are going to think that everything is bad all the time, because that's what trauma does. Turns on all the negativity in your head and makes you believe that that is what is real. Okay. You've got to make sure when you're having a good day, write that down in your journal, put stars around that zero, and make sure that it's something that stands out to you when you go back through your journal, so you will know when your brain starts saying your life is just shit, you never had any good luck with men, you are just going to always be cheated on, your life is going to be miserable. You can recognize that as anxiety. You can recognize that as the effects of trauma, and you can go into your journal and you can say, I know for sure that is not my entire future, because I, in the midst of all this trauma, had a 0 day like yesterday, a couple of days ago, last week. It was a couple of them. All right. You'll be able to prove that your brain is lying to you, which is super important as you're trying to heal from trauma, because that's a huge part of what trauma is. Your brain just lying to you about stuff. Okay. So I need you to pay attention to that. Daytime level of anxiety. Oh, a 0 is great. Now, a 10. A 10 is an absolute loss of control. A 10 is, I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked because I have lost control of myself. Okay. If you are at a 10, you are not sitting down at your desk with a pen in your hand about to write in your journal. You can write about you were a 10 earlier that day, but you can't sit down and be like, oh, right now I'm a 10 and this is why. No, that's a lot of logic for being out of control. Okay. You will start to discern the levels by doing this. You will learn that a 10, okay, that's a loss of control. So if I have any control over myself, I'm not quite at a 10. So it's not as bad as it could be. So maybe I can make it a little bit better. Okay. Then also, when you're doing your journaling, this is also going to show you that you are doing something that helps. Because when you start off journaling and you're a 7, and then you finish your journaling, you write your level of anxiety at the end of that session of writing, and you're like, oh, I'm actually like a 6 or maybe a 5.5 now. You will be able to see in just that little bit of writing, just that paragraph or two that you have written in that 5 minutes, you have already made yourself feel better. It has brought that level of anxiety down to a much more manageable level very quickly. Okay, you will start to see that it is possible for that to happen. That is the most important thing as you are healing, to be able to see that it can actually occur. You can calm down. You can feel better. You can stop the spiral once it's already started. Okay. All right. Next thing. The next thing that I'm going to always remind you of every time we get together, I need you, honey, develop an attitude of gratitude. You need to, every day when you open up your journal, write down 5 things that you're grateful for. Okay. I want you to do that. Make that a consistent thing so that you are always appreciating the good things in your life, because life goes by really, really fast. And if you're spending a lot of it traumatized, you might miss a couple things. So if you are stopping every day and making your brain turn towards the things that you have gratitude for, the things that you are grateful are in your life, your brain will learn that that's what you want from it, and it will offer up those things more often. It will tell you, hey, look, this is a thing that's kind of like that thing you said you were grateful for. Are you grateful for this? It will present things to you if you get into the habit of looking for them. That's why I always do Thirsty Thursday. I want to hear the good things in your life. Put in the comments things that are you're grateful for in your life right this minute. Even though the pain and the trauma of the infidelity are there, what are you grateful for right now? You will be able to find some things. You can find 5. I can guarantee you can look around your room and find 5. You can find 5 just off the top of your head. So if you are doing this on a consistent basis and expecting your brain to exercise that way, you are doing the opposite of what your brain does on trauma. Trauma, after this betrayal, will tell you, Everything is always awful. Everything is terrible. This is another way to prove that it's not all bad, that this life is good and that you have good things in it. Okay. And that will give you a little bit more hope towards healing. And that's why you need that. You need to be able to have hope that good things exist to be able to fully heal. If you don't think good things exist, what's the point of healing? Okay. All right. So you need to be able to know that. So put in the comments anything that you are grateful for today. Anything that you're like, oh, I'm so glad that this thing exists in the world today. I want to hear about them and I want to share them with everybody else. So put them in the comments, let me know, and I will share. Okay. All right. Last thing before we get all into the teaching for today, I want you to take me very seriously here and stop asking him all those questions about the affair. Okay? I know you want to. I know you're entitled to. I know that you're totally justified in it. I'm still saying it's not good for you. Okay? I am saying that that is a response from your trauma. Your trauma wants to ask questions, it wants to know things. So if you are consistently thinking, this person in front of me, the person that I love, is a threat to me, I'm going to continue to believe that he's a threat to me, and I'm going to interrogate him like he's a threat. I want to find out everything I possibly can about this threat so this threat will not be a threat to me anymore. Okay? If you keep doing that, that's how you see your partner. You see them as a threat. It's real hard to heal from that. It's hard to pull that back if you keep on asking question after question after question because you are cementing that feeling about him in your brain because that's what the trauma wants. It wants you to feel like, oh no, you shouldn't trust him. You shouldn't be near him. You shouldn't have anything to do with him. He's scary. He's a perpetrator. You need to make sure to stay away from him. But ask him another question. Okay? All right. We got to stop that. All right. If you want to heal, you got to stop. I know that your brain will tell you that if you ask all the questions, then you'll heal. That's impossible. You could always come up with another question. You can come up with variations of questions. You can always come up with another question. So there is no end to the questions. There is no point at which your brain will be like, oh, okay, yeah, I've asked everything that I wanted to ask. There is no point that it does that because this is a trauma response. It's an automatic response. And so every single time you let your brain wander off in that direction, it will think of another question to ask. You have to make the decision to stop asking the questions, to interrupt that loop in your brain, because that's what it's becoming. It's a trigger. It's like, oh, I want to ask him this question and maybe I'll feel better after I get this answer. And then you don't feel better. And then you have another question because you think it might make you feel better. It goes on and on and on. It will not stop until you stop it. Okay. I understand that everybody else tells you that you should ask questions. I'll even give you that. But what I want you to do is ask better questions. That was what we were talking about last week. That's exactly the topic for last week, about asking better questions, not just asking everything about this affair. Ask something that will actually bring you closer. So I bring you my cards from The And, TheAnd. These are the good folks at the Skin Deep. And if you look on Amazon, you can find them. The And in the search on Amazon, you'll be able to find them. Okay. They're about $30 for this game, but it's 199 questions. Okay. And it's good questions. This is the healing edition that I'm reading to you from. And they're good questions for connection. They're good questions for trying to bridge a gap instead of trying to make more of a gap by asking a whole bunch of questions about the infidelity. Okay. So let's see a couple of these. First one says, what do you think I still deeply desire and why? That's an intriguing question right there. What do you think I still deeply desire and why? That's an excellent question. Isn't that a question that's better than the questions that you've been thinking of? All right. Is that a question that you would rather have the answer to? I would. Okay. I would rather know that one. I would rather sit down and have a conversation about that one. And all you need is like 3 of these cards. You do not need to sit down and do like 18 of these cards back to back to back. A couple of them will produce quite a bit of conversation. All right. If you're just free to talk about whatever it is that they talk about, you'll get some good conversation. You'll get real connection instead of separation, instead of pushing away through the questions about the infidelity. Okay. Another one says, what actions would earn your trust even more? Ooh, boy, that might trigger you a little bit. Okay. If you had to ask him that question and you're like, what action would earn your trust even more? Like, you're asking him how he can trust you more. Now, that might be triggering. Okay. It might be. All right. But you're going to get some good information from that. You're going to get good information from this question if you're willing to hear the answer. That's going to increase your connection. It's going to calm you. It's going to soothe you. It's going to make you feel closer to this person. Okay. And one more randomly out of the deck. How do we succeed together? And what does that mean to you? Isn't that what you want, to succeed together? You get to talk about your version of success. He can talk about his version of success. You can see how they mesh together. That is an excellent question. Much, much better than where did you sleep with her? Much, much better than did you kiss her? Did you tell her you loved her? Much better than those. Okay. So, how do we succeed together? And what does that mean to you? Okay. Excellent questions. Those are good ones today. All right. So, I want you to maybe grab one of those decks. If you are having the brain itch, the traumatic brain itch of, I want to ask him a whole bunch of questions, buy this deck. Take the and go get that from Amazon and ask him those questions instead of the questions that you want to ask. It will scratch that itch a little bit so that you won't feel like, oh, I can't ask any questions. And then it will let your brain kind of rest. It's not anything that is going to be ammo for later. It's going to be things that connect you and make you feel better and more at ease. Okay. Fabu. All right, we're right on time here, right on schedule. Today, I have a little lesson for you. And this is for you if you have found yourself saying, if I just knew for sure. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Is that you? Do you have that thought? If I just knew for sure after this infidelity. All right. I'm here to tell you today that you don't need another sign. Okay. I think one of the biggest reasons that women stay stuck after betrayal isn't because they don't know enough. They haven't asked enough questions. They haven't internalized it. They haven't thought about it. They haven't journaled on it. They haven't asked their therapist about it enough. I think it's because they're waiting for certainty. I am certainty. I was waiting for certainty. I want you to comment if you think that waiting for certainty about what will happen after this infidelity is holding up your healing after this infidelity. Is it keeping you stuck working towards, oh, I must be certain? All right. The reason we crave that certainty after betrayal is that our brains had a belief. That a belief is a mental acceptance of an idea. And in that case, it's our trust. And we had belief, that acceptance, that trust was true and it was real. It was a real thing. But then the betrayal came along and it shattered that trust. And so then it shattered our belief. So when our brains had to face that, face the belief being shattered, being broken apart, losing that belief felt terrifying. It's scary. It's scary as hell to lose a belief because you have accepted it to be true and we internalize what is true. So your brain starts chasing after guarantees, trying to find that belief again, trying to feel safe again. And then we confuse certainty with safety. If I am certain, then I must be safe. Okay? Some examples. One more apology. If I get one more apology, he'll never do this again. If I get one more conversation about it, he will totally understand why he's so in the wrong. Never do this again. If I get one more day of transparency, I'll be sure that he can be trusted with my heart. I'll be certain of it. If I get one more counseling session, then he will know that he is in the wrong and needs to work on all the things so that I can feel safe with him again. If I get one more sign from God, if you believe, if I get one more sign from God, then I can have my faith again. I can have faith in him again. If I get one more gut feeling, and we know about those, right? We know about those feelings. If I get one more gut feeling in the positive, then I feel like I can allow myself to stay then. I can be certain that it's safe for me to stay if my gut tells me so. All right. After betrayal, certainty feels like safety, but those are not the same thing. Those are not two things that are exactly alike. Certainty is being sure of something. Safety is even if you're not sure, you know you'd be all right. Okay? Fear loves just one more. All right. Fear sounds reasonable. It sounds totally reasonable when it's talking to you. It says just wait a little bit longer. Just get one more piece of proof that you can move forward, and then you can move forward. Make sure that you're not making any mistakes. Make sure that you are not making any mistakes, and then you can feel good, and then you can move forward, and you can love him all you want to then because you're not making any mistakes. All right. The problem with that is the finish line will always keep moving. And the finish line for this race is your healing. So you're always chasing your healing. You never quite get to it because there's always something in your brain that says, wait just a little bit more before we heal, before we let it go. Because that's what your brain is designed to do. It's supposed to try and look out for dangers so that you don't get hurt. And so it will always keep moving the finish line and making sure you don't completely heal because it doesn't want you to forget this pain so that you remember the next time that this could possibly happen to you. Fear doesn't usually tell us no. It doesn't just say no. It says, not yet. Not yet. Hold. Wait for it. Okay? That's what it says to you. It says that if you just hold still, if you fawn, then you might be safe from the big bad. It won't see you if you just hold on, if you just wait. The bad thing won't get to you. Okay? Certainty is very often fear just dressed up in a reasonable outfit. Okay? It makes it sound totally reasonable to wait. Hold on. But then you're always waiting for your healing to start. And I think you've waited long enough for that. All right? What you're really waiting for, if you think about it, most women that I have encountered as I've been doing this, as I've been coaching women after infidelity, most women are not actually waiting for another sign. They're waiting for permission. They're waiting for permission to trust themselves again. They're waiting for permission to set boundaries. They're waiting for permission to reconcile. They're waiting for permission to leave. They're waiting for permission to rest and stop obsessing. And they're waiting for permission to believe that they're going to survive no matter what comes next. They're all waiting for that. You are probably waiting for one of those things in order to heal. Most of the time, we're not looking for another sign. We're looking for a permission to be able to trust ourselves. And I want you to trust yourself. I don't think that you're wrong in this. If you are feeling like this is your person, maybe ask yourself better questions. How about that? Last week we were talking about asking the better questions. So instead of right now thinking, what sign is it that I need to be able to heal, to be able to move on, to be able to reconcile, to be able to do whatever it is that I want to do? Try asking better questions. What do I already know? All right, that's a good reason to do your journaling. You can go back and you will know the things that you absolutely know because they'll be in the journal. All right. What is fear trying to talk me out of? Okay. Your fear is trying to talk you out of something. It's trying to talk you out of something almost every day. All right. Even if it isn't about the infidelity, your fear is trying to talk you out of some shit on a regular basis. So, what is your fear trying to talk you out of right this second? What decision aligns most with the woman I'm becoming? The woman that I want to be, the healed woman, the wiser woman, the sharper woman, the smarter woman, the fiercer woman that I am going to be after this trauma is resolved. What decision would she make? That healed version of me. What decision would she make right now? What would she choose? And I think this one is the best one. If I trusted myself, what would be my next step? Instead of waiting for a sign, because then you got to interpret the sign. All right. Then you got to accurately, okay, interpret the sign if you even get the sign. So you've got to trust yourself pretty good if you're going to just interpret the sign on your own and run with it. So instead of waiting for any signs, ask yourself, okay, if I did trust myself like that, then what would I do next? What would be my next step? Right? Those are better questions. All right. Those are better questions that are going to get you to healing a whole lot faster than what sign do I need to wait for? Okay. So, what's one decision you've been waiting to make because you've been hoping that you'll just get one more sign about it after this infidelity? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting to leave? Are you waiting to stay? Are you waiting to forgive him? Are you waiting to actually let down your guard and allow yourself to love again? What decision are you holding off on because you're waiting and hoping one more sign makes it clear for you? Put it in the comments. I want to hear from you. So, one of the things I love about coaching is helping women to start to separate fear, which is the main emotion when you've been traumatized, from wisdom, which is what you're going to gain from wrestling this trauma into submission. Okay, you are going to gain that wisdom. It's there inside you, but the fear is loud and the wisdom is usually a little quieter. So I like to be able to help women discern between the two. And sometimes they just don't need more information, they need clarity. That's why I created my Enchanted Clarity Call after infidelity. I want you to put call in the comments and my bots will send you the info about that. You can get on a call with me and gain some clarity, not feel like you have to wait for another sign. And if you are waiting for another sign, this is the sign. This is the one. Put CALL in the comments and get the information about getting on a call with me, you will have clarity after you speak with me. Okay? All right. So I want to leave you with just the thought that you may never have every answer after the infidelity. It's 18 years later for me. I don't think I have every answer, but I have enough answers. And it didn't really matter because the healing didn't begin because I was certain. Healing after infidelity begins when you learn to trust in the woman you've become. You have been through something outstanding. You have been through something that is terrible for you, made you feel horrible, broke you down. But now you get to rebuild and be the person that you want to be as you are rebuilding. You can learn to trust that woman. All right. That's where your healing is going to come from, is trusting in you, inside out healing. Okay. It's not going to come from outside anywhere. It's not going to come from anything he does. It's not going to come from anything he says. It's not going to come from a lightning bolt from the sky. It is going to come from right inside of you. All you have to do is decide on it and then free it. Let it go. Let it come out. Do the things that you would do if you were healed and you were whole and you were happy again. You can trust that. You can trust that woman. If you do those things, that is the healing path. Okay? Good stuff. Good stuff today, man. I'm excited. I am so happy about getting these clarity calls out. I want you to get on a call with me. I love to do calls. I absolutely love to do calls one-on-one with you where you tell me about what's going on in this situation. And by the end of the conversation, you have a plan. That's the clarity that you're going to get. Not only are you going to feel a little bit better and you're going to laugh a little bit with me, you are going to have a plan for what comes next. And if you want to work with me beyond that, okay, great. I just want to get you on the path if I possibly can. The dreams formula, I put dreams in the comment if you would like a copy of my dreams formula to come right to your inbox. But my dreams formula is how I learned to heal and reconcile after infidelity. When this happened, everybody was giving me all this advice and none of it was working. Okay? Not a bit. None of it was working. And I went through and I figured out, okay, all these things that people told me and it did not work. I always ended up more miserable. Okay, what's the exact opposite of that? And that's what I'm going to try. All right. That's what I did. That's as simple as it got. I was like, okay, they told me that he has to make a decision. He has to choose you. He has to choose this relationship. He has to make sure that he is let go of everybody and he is acting like he is supposed to if you want to believe in his decision. Okay? I'm saying that in this situation, not only you are traumatized, all right? When you get in trouble, it's traumatic. All right. So he's actually going through some trauma right now, too. The fact that you found out, all right, the fact that you are miserable, the fact that his life is crumbling is a trauma. I know it's a well-deserved trauma, but it is a trauma. So waiting on him to make decisions about you in your trauma, that seems kind of dumb. I know that logically it's like, oh, he should make a decision, but I don't feel like he should get to make this decision. I feel like if you're going to stay together, if you're going to work it out, that needs to be your decision. He's already been making poor decisions. I think that you need to be the one to be able to say, okay, we are going to work this out. That's what's going to happen from now on. I don't think he's capable. Okay. The R in dreams is for recognizing and then overcoming that fear speech, the thoughts in your head that keep repeating, the stuff that you want to journal, the things that you hear from other women about trying to heal and reconcile after infidelity, that, oh, you're being a doormat and you're being a pick me and this will never work and he's just going to cheat on you. And it's all of that noise that comes from inside and you hear from outside. People would tell me that I should just feel my fears and confront him about my fears. All right. That didn't work. That didn't work. What I had to do was recognize it as fear. Okay. Recognize those things that I was thinking and I was feeling as fear. And then actually work to overcome them myself, to push through to the other side. That fear creates resistance and you don't want to press yourself up against it, but the answers are on the other side. The answers are through the fear, not avoiding the fear, not trying to make it so that the fear goes away. You got to lean into the fear. You got to understand that, yes, I'm doing something that's scary. I am trying to recover my relationship after a severe trauma and a betrayal. That is a scary thing to do. It's reasonable to be scared. However, it's not reasonable not to do what you want just because you're scared. Okay. When I figured that out, it worked. All right. So there are four more. All right. The E, the A, and the S. All of the steps of the dreams formula are in my guide, How to Heal and Reconcile After Infidelity, your guide to the dreams formula. So all you need to do to try and get this guide to the healing path is put path in the comments, PATH, to get my guide, How to Heal and Reconcile After Infidelity. The 6 steps of the dreams formula explained to you, laid out, so that you can start to travel that healing path. I want you to get off the hurting path. Right now, all the things that you're doing are from the trauma, and that is the path of hurting. That is the path of, I am in pain, and I am going to keep on feeling this pain so that I don't ever forget this pain, so this pain never happens to me again. All right? That's just the path of just continuing to hurt. I want you to get on the healing path, because on the healing path, yes, the pain starts to lift. You still remember it. It's still very clear, but you're not afraid every day that the pain is going to come back. You're not always terrified that any wrong move is going to lead you back to that deep, dark part of the woods. I want you to be able to find the path, get on the path, and then be able to get out of the woods and get to your castle and get to your happily ever after as fast as possible. All right. Instead of getting more and more lost in the dark, I want you to get home. So feel free to put it in the comments, PATH, and I will send you a copy, a free copy of my guide, How to Heal and Reconcile After Infidelity. Okay. All right. I think we're coming to the end here. All right. One last thing we got to talk about. I was chatting with you earlier about the things that you can do that are going to help you to start to heal this trauma. All right. I got one more for you. All right. First one was do your deep breathing, do your journaling, do your gratitude practice, and stop asking all those questions. Those 4, those are going to get you well on the way. But I want you to feel good about you too, because remember, trauma makes everything seem bad. It does that about you too. It says that you are bad. You are just such doormat, and you are just going to tolerate being treated bad for your entire life. Your brain will tell you awful things about you. So I want you to do your affirmations. Now, I have a set of affirmations that are just for healing and reconciling after infidelity. If you want a copy of those, put affirmation in the comments and I will send you a copy. My bots will get on that quickly. But I want you to just pick an affirmation. You can get these from anywhere. This is a deck of cards I got from Five Below. All right. You can get them from anywhere. You can get them from Etsy. You can get them from Amazon. Just a deck of affirmation cards. And whatever affirmation comes up for that day, you say it and you say it like you mean it, girl. You say it like it is the most true statement you've ever made in your life. All right. And then you will have this record. You look yourself in the eye, say it like you mean it, and your brain creates a record of you saying that. And so every time there's that negative thought about yourself, you come back with the affirmation, with the recording in your brain of, no, 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 I don't believe that about myself. I don't believe that bad thing. I believe this good thing. And you constantly correct your brain instead of allowing it to tell you that you're awful, that you deserve this, that you'll never have anybody faithful. You are interrupting that loop inside your brain and not accepting it. And it'll make it a whole lot easier for you to heal from this trauma. Okay. So this is a good one. Affirmation for today is, today I feel good. Today I know deep down that I look good, feel good, and I am a good person. Isn't that wonderful? Wouldn't you rather hear that replaying in your head instead of "you're such a doormat"? Wouldn't you rather hear that? Wouldn't that be a much better message to have inside your head as you go through your week? So that is your affirmation for the week. Today, I feel good. Today, I know deep down that I look good, feel good, and I am a good person. I love it. Oh, that's a good one. All right. So I think that's about it. That's all I got for you this week. Remember to do the practices, do your deep breathing, do your journaling, do your gratitude practice. Stop asking him all those questions and do your affirmations. But all of that being said, the most important thing is, do not do what the fear and the pain tell you to do after infidelity. After this type of betrayal, your brain will tell you awful things to do. It will tell you, it will shout at you things to do that will not help you to heal in the least. So I want you, every time your brain screams one of those suggestions and it gets your heart to pumping and makes your breath come a little faster, I want you to sit with it for a moment. I want you to think about what the opposite of that would be. And then I want you to do the opposite. All right. That is going to be the healing path every time. Chances are, if you do the opposite of what the fear and the pain tell you, you will be in alignment with part of the dreams formula going forward. Okay. So you will be on the healing path if you decide to do the opposite of what the fear and the pain tell you to do. Okay. All right, let me see. Any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? None over there. None that I see here. All right, fabulous. So I guess that's about it. That's about it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. If you have been through infidelity and you want to heal and you want to reconcile, put call in the comments so I can reach out to you about getting on call with me, a clarity call about what to do next, how you get out of the pain that you're in and head towards healing and reconciliation with the person that you love. Okay. I love you. And I'm so, so proud of you. If nobody has told you this week, they need to, because you are super brave, girl. You are brave and compassionate and loving, and we need more people like you in the world. So I am proud to know you. I am proud that you exist on this planet, and I am proud of what you are doing. You are not doing the wrong thing, following your heart, following your desires. You know what is best for you after the pain of this betrayal. And if you decide that healing and reconciling is the path that you want to tread, I am here every minute of the day to help you with that. Okay? All right. That is about it. I will be back with you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the Healing Hour Live. Bye, y'all.